Hey, what's up, everybody? MajorKill said something about Eldritch Horrors in the thumbnail, so you know I had to click on it. Yes. So we're gonna just check this out really quick, and you're gonna like it.
G'day guys and gal. Warhammer 40k is all about subverting expectations. The shark dudes who look like genuine nightmare fuel are some of the most steadfast and loyal defenders of humanity. The big scary pyromaniac dude is actually the nicest guy in the entire setting, and these little Jawa looking aliens are arguably some of the most powerful beings in all of 40k. I'm not joking. The Watchers in the Dark are very mysterious. Seemingly, they're the Dark Angel's little helpers, but in reality, they're these godlike, omnipresent guardians of the universe, able to bend reality to their will and delete any who oppose them with just a thought. They're also 2 foot tall and really cute, but don't pat them. I'm not sure what happens if you do, but I don't want to find out. Before we get started, there are things in life you really should be doing that you probably don't even realize. Skincare is one of them, and cheers to today's sponsor, Geology. We can finally sort you out.
Skincare is super clutch.
Your oily, patchy, pimply skin, your dark circles under your eyes, they aren't necessarily just bad genetics,
all about that,
but easily treatable symptoms of poor skin quality. However, Geology knows that us blokes are pretty dumb with this kind of stuff, so it takes the hard part out for us, simply letting us complete an online survey that then creates and sends a skincare package based on what we put into our door, complete with easy to follow instructions. But Geology is more than just skincare. They do shampoos, conditioners, body washes, co-washes, all following the same theme of straightforward, scientifically proven and high quality blends. Personally, I used to have issues with oily skin, as you can see here, but these days, all good. The best part is that using my linking code MajorKill70 below, you'll get 70% off your first skincare package. On top of that, you can then choose another one of their products, be it the body wash, co-wash, etc., to add to that bundle. It's rare that a physical product gives you such a massive discount. Usually it's like 10%. So I would not miss out on this one, guys and gal. Cheers to Geology for sponsoring this video. Today I'll be sussing out the lore of the Watchers in the Dark, attempting to uncover their motives, end goal, as well as highlighting some cool stuff they've done. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The galaxy of 40k is very, very big and full of crazy stuff. Aliens that can open up space marines like tuna cans, human civilizations light years more advanced than the Imperium, and these Jawa-looking godlike Xenos. They don't really seem like that at a glance though. I bet you've seen a few of their models where they basically just hold Dark Angel weapons and armor like a bunch of child burn victims, wrapped in their green robes and looking very mysterious. You'd assume that they were some kind of servant, but no. Their role was originally to subtly guide Caliban against chaos, occasionally appearing to special knights and treating the Dark Angels with disdain, knowing it would be the Dark Angels who destroyed Caliban. However, when shit hit the fan and the heresy broke out, they decided to become more active, directly advising Lionel Johnson himself while they themselves avoided direct conflict. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Where did these Xenos come from and what are they? Well, it's clear that they are native to Caliban, or at least have been here for a very long time, and consider it their home. This does make sense as Caliban got cum blasted by the warp, creating the great beast of the forest, as well as the mega demon hidden under the earth. So it's more than likely this warp cum blast could have also created the Watchers in the Dark. Remember, the warp doesn't only just spit out chaos or empower it, it can also provide the weapons against chaos, such as Saint Celestine or the Emperor's power. Either way, the Watchers became sworn enemies of chaos, seeing its true nature and being powerful enough to wield the warp as a tool. Their psychic power is miles beyond human capability. Zahariel, a powerful Dark Angel psyker who encountered them on numerous occasions, was shocked by their tremendous power and knew that they could delete his ass if he acted like a bitch. Which, he did end up acting like a bitch, but that's a story for another day. Despite their power, they don't like getting directly involved in stuff. There is no record of them fighting against the chaotic beasts of Caliban, only appearing to Zahariel after he killed his first beast by himself, and even then they were debating whether or not to kill him. See, while they can see the future and it's implied they exist outside the normal bounds of time and space, their foresight isn't flawless, as the infinite future paths are always changing. For example, Zahariel had the potential to become a champion of light against chaos, but he bitched it and became a chaotic little slurry. The Watchers would have seen both pass for him upon meeting, hence their debate on killing him. However, they decided to believe in a future that never manifested. The Watchers are also kind of unkillable. Attempting to physically attack a Watcher won't do much, and they can also nullify psychic power. Anyone who attempts to psychically attack them would find their brain turn to sashimi as their organs were liquefied. As a result of this, the modern day Dark Angels are told not to mess with the Watchers and just let them do their thing, whether that be wandering around their ship, carrying special weapons and armor, or just following them around. There's a pretty dope scene in the lore where the Changeling, a mega powerful demon of Titsnitch, was running around the Rock causing havoc, the Rock being the Dark Angels' flagship. He would touch Dark Angel serfs who would die horribly, and was just being an all-round dick. However, when he encountered a Watcher in the dark, he shat himself. He could not comprehend what the Watcher was, only that if he didn't run the hell away from it, then it was going to fuck him up. For context of how insane this is, the Changeling has pulled pranks on all the other Chaos Gods and laughed in their faces.
Like,
however, a Watcher made this deep...
He's like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I absolutely for sure 100% know that if I fuck with it, it's going to fuck me.
It's like it's short and it's tiny and
full of doom.
And I don't want it.
It's short and tiny and full of doom. Oh god, it's like something out of Invader Zim.
And feel the closest thing to fear a demon possibly could. This encounter actually made the Changeling give up on its mission. In another more direct intervention, the Watcher...
Fear the midget.
Doom midget.
Doom midget.
Watchers did try to prevent the fall of Caliban by siding against Luther's rebellion, but it was too little too late. As Caliban was destroyed and the Lion was put into a coma by Luther's psychic cum blast, the Watchers carried the comatose Lion to safety and
Doom come.
Oh no.
entombed him within a secret, inaccessible section of the Dark Angel's flagship, the Rock. Although the Lion has healed from his wounds, the Watchers keep him asleep, biding their time before they find a handsome prince to kiss him and wake him up. More than likely, the Watchers have been waiting for the fall
Doom kiss.
Oh my gosh.
to be deposited out of the warp storm, allowing them to regroup with each other and Luther, and then the Lion would rise, uniting the Dark Angels back into Legion's strength and shaking up the entire setting. At least that's my theory. A few people might be a bit confused as to why the Fallen would join the Lion, since they literally rebelled against him. Well, it's important to note that the Fallen don't consider themselves traitors or Chaos Marines. More so, they were manipulated by Luther after a misunderstanding. Luther himself is regretful for betraying the Lion, and he seeks forgiveness and to make amends. So it's not too much of a stretch to think he'd be willing to guide his Astartes back under the Lion's banner, and then they can have a bit of a, heart-to-heart discussion. The Watcher's existence does create a bit of a question though, a paradox.
I think that more roughly translates to a sword-to-ass discussion.
Right, yes.
If you will. They are very clearly Xenos, dangerous psychic aliens with unclear motives or end goal. That is prime target for the Imperium's racist genocidal policy. Why do the Dark Angels or even the wider Imperium not only tolerate them, but revere them? After all, the Watchers follow around the greatest of the Dark Angels, and those Dark Angels use them as a symbol of greatness. Well, to be honest, straight up, the Imperium tolerates them because the Imperium doesn't know they exist. The Dark Angels are easily the most secretive of the Loyalist chapters, and have literally murdered Inquisitors who have gotten close to uncovering a few of their dark secrets. They rarely let anyone aboard their ship, and those they do let on are confined to certain areas that the Watchers don't hang around at. Even if someone were to see a Watcher, they look like little Jawas. It would be easy for the Dark Angels to say that they were just a servitor with a hood, a child Dark Angel initiate, or just gaslight them into thinking they saw nothing. It's the same vibe with Space Wolf.
Oh yeah, that's just some random Xenos, don't worry about it.
It's just a random, midget of doom.
It's a midget servitor, don't worry about it. We have a thing for turning midgets into servitors.
We have a thing for, midgets of doom.
We call them the Doom Midgets.
It's a baby. I don't know.
It's a baby servitor.
It's a baby servitor.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh no.
Wolfen, or the Blood Angels' Black Rage and Red Thirst. Some shit just doesn't need to get spread. As for the Dark Angels, they have hung around the Watchers for over 10,000 years. These peculiar creatures remind them of home as they both came from Caliban. On top of that, the Watchers are proven to be an agent of order, dedicated to the suppression and destruction of chaos. It's a classic pro vs con situation, and even if the Dark Angels wanted to get rid of the Watchers, it's likely they wouldn't be able to. All of this still hasn't answered the fundamental question though. What are the Watchers in the dark? Warp entities, naturally evolving aliens, the physical manifestation of the Dark Angels' collective guilt? Perhaps they are none of these things, or perhaps they are all of these things. At the end of the day, it's hard to say. The Watchers are one of those things that GW like to keep mysterious, which I actually don't mind. What we do know for a fact is that they are an extremely old race, likely dating back to the beginning of the universe. They are also incredibly psychic and know a shitload about the warp, yet are also completely resistant to chaos. They work together with each other, however they don't always agree on everything, as evident by their debates on whether or not to turn Zahariel inside out. They can see the future and foresaw the destruction of Caliban, even being kind
You could say they planned on making him warp spaghetti.
of chill about it. However, their foresight isn't perfect. They feel a deep bond with Caliban and the Dark Angels, rarely ever leaving the Rock, which also doubles as the last remaining part of Caliban, and they only seem to work with the Dark Angels, not any other Loyalist chapter. They are agents against chaos but will not directly engage in battle or conflict, yet they cannot be killed. Perhaps their pacifism is what gives them their invulnerability. Things clearly haven't gone the way the Watchers wanted to though. On Caliban, they very rarely interacted with anyone. Even the Knights of the Order rarely saw them or spoke to them. Yet these days, they are carrying around Dark Angel helmets and just hanging out, having beers with the boys. It seems like they've either gone, shit, maybe we should do a bit more and get a bit more hands-on, or they are so jaded from the loss of their home planet that they really don't give a fuck anymore. With the imminent return of the Lion, after all I'm pretty sure I agreed to cock and bull torture myself if he isn't the next Primarch to come back, the true nature and purpose of the Watchers will likely be revealed. Until then, let's just keep appreciating how some of the cutest and most inconspicuous dudes in the entire galaxy could delete you from existence with a single sneeze. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then buy a Major Mini, pick up some Christmas merch, or join the Patreon. Hit the subscribe button and hit the
real subscribe button.
Right.
Content. Join the Discord for more memes and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Nice.
I gotta say that I really think it would be... I don't know how I would feel about bringing back another Primarch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it just seems like if they did anything other than team up, I feel like it would be bullshit, because none of the Primarchs that could come back are so jaded and such arrogant assholes that they would be willing to throw the entire Imperium in jeopardy for a dick measuring contest.
Right.
At least as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong, because again, I'm still absorbing lore.
We're still babies at this.
We're still baby 40K nerds. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong about that. I personally think that if the Lion came back, it would just be game over for Chaos, point blank. Game over for Chaos and most of the other enemies of mankind, because I really think him and Gilliman would be more than willing to work together. I don't think Gilliman is such a prideful asshole that he would try to retain his station of absolute commander of the Imperium if Lion-O came back.
Yeah. But we will have to see. Plus Slack. What's up with all the Slack? I don't know. Resurrection and stuff.
What's up with all the resurrection stuff?
Yeah. It's like, we can come up with something new. Whatever.
Well, it's not
he
resurrection.
died, but
It's
he
not
survived.
Caitlin, it's not resurrection. He's in a coma.
Okay.
All right, guys, go support MajorKill if by some miracle you knew about us before you knew about him.
How?
Highly unlikely. About a 1 in a billion of that.
Fair.
But no matter what you do, hit that sub button and come back for another adventure sometimes. Welcome to the adventure.
Welcome to the adventure.